do apologize. Reporting live from Be Free News Station. We've had a few technical difficulties this afternoon, and we do apologize. You guys understand, just like I told you last night, the devil is in the details. This thing is much bigger than us, and so we expect much bigger obstacles. But guess what? We, again, are overcomers. We, again, are victorious. So for those of you that may not be believers, I don't mean to offend you today, but I have to tell you this, that whatever we bind here on earth is bound in heaven. Therefore, the enemy has no place. He cannot succeed. He will not stop us. Everything that we are going to do, we're going to do it decently and in order and on purpose. We're walking in purpose. We're fulfilling purpose. We're delivering people. We're changing lives, and we're going to do it because no weapon that is formed against Be Free University will prosper, and no tongue that rises against us in judgment, because it is condemned, because we are the saints of the living God. So thank you guys for waiting. Thank you guys for being here. Guess what? It's a beautiful day in Chicago. It's in the 60s. The sun is shining. It's an amazing time here at Be Free University. Guess what? We are in day 2 of Freedom Fest, and we have an amazing, amazing opportunity to sit with an amazing individual, and he's about to come up. So what I need for all of you to do, all of you mathematicians, all of you geniuses out there, because I know there's quite a few, I need you guys to adjust your schedules just a little bit. I promise you that we will make up the time later on today. But for this afternoon session, if you guys can adjust, that would be great, because we want to give Mr. Joe Dudley Jr. his respect, and we want to give him the amount of time that he has come expecting to use, and we're going to do that. So we had quite a few things that were going on behind the scenes, and so I'm asking all of you that do know how to pray to do that for us, to pray. So Mr. Joe Dudley Jr. is coming to the stage, guys, and he is an author, a speaker, and a second-generation entrepreneur. Many of you recognize that name. He is the president of Dudley Direct, LLC, a small business coaching and consulting firm. For 30 years, Joe worked in his family business, Dudley Products Incorporated, one of the nation's leading manufacturers and distributors of ethnic hair care and personal care products. He worked in numerous positions in the company, including VP of Marketing and VP of Finance. At age 7, Joe began his entrepreneurial journey by helping his parents make their hair care products in the family's kitchen. As an adult, Joe was instrumental in growing the company from $5 million to $35 million, and from 150 employees to over 500 employees. Owners finance their $1 million project. I present to each and every one of you this afternoon, Mr. Joe Dudley Jr.
Well, hello, everybody. Glad to be here today for this fantastic experience of launching Be Free University. All of you have come for this Freedom Fest 2021 to be able to see and to be able to learn how it's possible to move forward, what it takes to be able to receive and gain financial freedom in our lives. And we're able to do that. We can move forward with confidence, with clarity, with purpose, and with an understanding that we are meant to co-create the universe and to be able to move forward in ways that we're always meant to be. I'm Joe Dudley Jr., and indeed I am a second-generation entrepreneur, and I'm happy to be able to share with you some of my experience growing up in the family business, as well as the things that I learned in terms of helping to build and grow it so that you can move forward in that path yourself. Not all of us are meant to be entrepreneurs, but many of us can be if we find the right path, the right focus, the right mentors, and the right support to be able to move us forward. And by doing so, we have a chance to not just be a job taker, but to be a job maker. And that's part of my father's philosophy, and that he taught that to all of us as we were learning how to build and grow our business, and to give us the confidence and the recognition to understand that we have the ability to be self-sufficient, that we can control retail selling in our own neighborhoods, that we can be able to build and create the kind of generational wealth that we want to be able to pass on to our families. By having strong businesses in our communities, we're able to create the kind of wealth that's important to create leverage in our society. And so I challenge each of you to be able to stand up and look for the opportunities in life for yourself. You don't have to run a business in order to be successful. That's why you've got Be Free University that can teach you how to learn how to invest your money, be it in real estate, be it in terms of Forex trading, or other things you need to learn. But at the foundation, we've got to be able to be personally free by getting and learning financial literacy. And then we make that into financial intelligence. And then we turn that financial intelligence and add on top of it business education so that we can build and grow great businesses in our community. So happy to be able to share some thoughts of you today. We've got a lot of things to be able to share. Let me see what I can share with you at this moment. So I'd love for you to be able to follow along for our topic today, from break even to breakthrough. And in it, my team likes to call me the $1 million Black business strategist. So I can help businesses break through to that $1 million barrier and beyond. And by doing so, by understanding who we are as individuals, what we bring to the table, how do we bring other people to support us, and how to find mentorship that can guide us so that we can become our best selves. I'm fortunate to be able to follow in the footsteps of my mother and father, Joe and Eunice Dudley. And they've started their business over 50 years ago in the beauty industry. And as she mentioned, we started making products on the kitchen stove, and that expanded into manufacturing our own products, setting up a chain of beauty and barber supply stores throughout the Southeast. And then we started manufacturing our line of products to sell to beauty salons nationwide. We also established where we have beauty schools. We have them established in North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Chicago. And we opened up our own hotel on our property, built our manufacturing operations a couple of times. And all of that, it was involved by engaging and showing people that we can believe in ourselves, and that indeed, as Black people, we actually can work together and create great value that's meaningful to the people we serve. So yeah, we're fortunate to be able to sell our products directly to beauty salons nationwide. We have our own direct sales force that go to salon with our products. And so we don't sell our products in retail stores or beauty supply houses. We do so in a way where we control our own retail selling. And by doing so, we're able to make sure that we create profits for our salon owners. That way, people only have products that they must return to them to be able to keep things moving forward. So they don't have to compete with the grocery store or the drugstore down the street. Here's a chance where Chris Rock came to our headquarters and he filmed his documentary called Good Hair. And so he filmed a lot. Had my father featured quite a bit in the film. They filmed me for about 30 minutes, but like everything else, my life ended up on the cutting room floor of Hollywood. But nonetheless, that was a great experience having Chris Rock to come by, see our operations, see how we manufacture products, but more importantly, how do we educate people so that they can learn the latest in haircutting, hairstyling, and the use of our products, and how we encourage them to be able to take ownership of their life, ownership of their skills, and move forward with greater confidence and clarity. As mentioned, I'm the $1 million Black business strategist. We've had a chance to be able to talk to lots of different organizations about what's possible. Here, I help business owners get unstuck and regain their momentum. I also help business owners gain access to capital, and that's critical to move our business forward. The challenge is how to be creative about it, because banks are not the answer. So I help business owners get capital through unsecured lines of business credit, real estate funding, contract financing, where you might get funding for contracts you get from large corporations or government. We can provide funding for you, and with private investors. I really also help business owners finance their $1 million projects. And so that's always an exciting thing to do. And happy to help any of you who are here on the line who've got those projects that can be funded. So what's going on? I have a special offer for you that I will share with you near the end of my presentation. And that way you can jump on that and see if that's the right offer for you. One of the things that I'm happy to be able to do is work with my father as we have started Deadly Eagles Mastermind meetings. We meet on Sundays and from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And we do it in a way to be able to work with future and current entrepreneurs. And if you're working full time in your business and you're not yet generating $100,000 in revenue, there are key skills that you need to learn to be able to move forward in your business. And this is what we do in this environment, teach our people how to do those things. And so it's a perfect environment, whether you're a future entrepreneur, a solopreneur, retail shop owner, or have a larger business with 10 or more people in your staff. We give you tools, tips, strategies to be able to apply in your situation to move your business forward. One of the great things we have are wonderful speakers that come every Sunday to be able to share of their entrepreneurial journey so that we get a chance to learn of the ups and downs, but also what it took fortitude-wise, perseverance to be able to move forward. So we have people like Jerry McGants, who's the publisher of Black Pages USA. He spoke about creating a Black ecosystem and connecting the dots. We also have Tanya Wiley, who's a nationally recognized legal business strategist and PR expert. And she talked about building and growing your brand virtually. And coming up week after next is Mr. Kenneth Harper Jr. He's a financial literacy strategist for business owners. And he talks about achieving the mindset to rise above the barriers to business success. One of the great topics we talk about as well is Black group economics and recognizing that our unity is our wealth. Love to be able to celebrate great people who are coming together to invest their funds and be able to purchase property in their own community. We celebrate Black Wall Street STL. They took $150,000 to purchase 8 city blocks in St. Louis. They're taking the dilapidated buildings, refurbishing them, fixing them up, so they can put profitable businesses and other items that will serve the community in St. Louis. We celebrate 19 families who bought 97 acres of land in Georgia to create a city safe for Black people. They're calling it Freedom, Georgia. And they just completed that purchase this past June in 2020. But look at what they did, coming together to make that purchase and to do it for themselves, not waiting for somebody else to do so. And I love to celebrate Chris Senegal. He's a real estate investor and developer. He's been in Houston for over 10 years. And he developed his concept, buying the block in historic Fifth Ward of Houston. And has already had buildings and things, and he's buying them. But more importantly, what did he do? He gathered over 1,600 investors to put up between $250 up to $10,000 to buy shares. And his goal was to get over $500,000, but he got over $1 million to be able to invest fully into this project. So that's an exciting thing. And I look forward to doing the exact same thing myself. So I want you to join me in our adventures with the Deadly Eagles. Love for you to be able to click on in the chat. Got a link that's going there where you get a chance to join our email list, where you can come to our Sunday meetings for free and be able to learn about the things that we're doing and hear from other entrepreneurs about their entrepreneurial journey and what they're doing to move forward. So I ask you, where are you in your entrepreneurial journey? What path are you happen to be on? Have you already started your business, or are you still contemplating it? Have you been in it for a while and things have slowed down? Obviously, last year and this year have been challenging, but there are people who have persevered and moved forward. They've taken advantage of many financial opportunities that have come their way unexpectedly from the government. We can take advantage of those things that weren't even there before to help us guide and survive our way and be able to reposition ourselves to be able to move forward in this world and be able to succeed. So the real truth about entrepreneurship is that not everybody wins. In fact, there are many paths to failure. In fact, out of 100 things that you need to do well in business or choices that you make in business, 90% of them will lead you towards the path of failure. Only 10% will lead you to the path of success. And so sometimes, many times, it's hard to distinguish between the two. You think you're doing the right thing, but it's obvious you're not getting the right results. So I ask you, what are the three biggest challenges that you face in your business today? In fact, based on your mindset, maybe that's all you see, challenges ahead of you. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough people believe in me. I don't know how to get customers. Well, actually, when you admit that you don't know how to get customers, that really isn't just a challenge. That's a challenge that can be overcome because there are people out here who can help you figure out how to get customers. What is your target audience? What is the key thing? What is your natural audience? How do you get them to buy? That's something you can overcome. But we all face challenges as we are to build and grow our business. So, along with challenges, I want you to have the mindset as well of what are your three biggest opportunities? What are the three biggest opportunities that you could take advantage of if you could get all the right pieces in place? Now, the truth is, to succeed, everything really doesn't have to work. You just got to get some of the things to work to move you forward, to get you to a better place, to be able to continue to keep moving forward. It's all about building momentum. But you can't build momentum if you don't see the right opportunities that fit for who you are and where you want to go. That's got to be up in your mind, not just the challenges. So the key question I have for you, you've got your challenges, you've got your opportunities. What is your strategy to take the leap so that you can go from break even to breakthrough? Do you have a strategy? Do you have a plan? As you can see, the leap can be challenging, but you've got to be able to have a strategy that moves you forward. Now, to have a great strategy, your foundation has got to be solid. Your foundation's got to be solid so that you can build as you grow. So I'm going to share with you today 3 hot principles to be able to allow you to focus on going from break even to breakthrough. So what are those 3 hot principles? I ask you to pull out your notebook, take some great notes. Let's see how we can move forward. So the first one is discover your E-style. And that comes from concept from my book called What's My E-Style? Discovering Your Entrepreneurial Personality for Outstanding Business Success. And what is your entrepreneurial personality? That is who you are and what you bring to the table to be able to run your business, to be able to get people to follow you, to be engaged with you, to believe in what you have to offer. All of that is what you bring to your business. What you also bring are some of the things you don't like to do. You bring that to your business as well. So really knowing who you are and as an entrepreneur makes a fundamental difference in your success or failure. Sometimes we think it's just the business that we're in that makes it work. But no, you bring yourself, your attitude, your mindset, your belief, your confidence to the table. And you got to understand it and be clear in your awareness of what that is. So your entrepreneurial personality is made up of several different components. The first one are your strengths and weaknesses. It also includes your personal motivation. What gets you up out of the bed? What is your reason? What is your yes? What is your why? Why are you moving forward? What is your approach to work? Are you very detail oriented? Do you have a high sense of urgency? Are you very assertive? Are you more accommodating? All of that matters in understanding your E-style. This also looks at your leadership style and your management style. All those components matter in terms of figuring out who you are and what you bring to your business. So what are strengths? Strengths are the things that you have some skills that you be able to develop, but you also have to have mastery around it as well. It's normally known it takes 10,000 hours to be able to master a particular skill and to do it at, do it and be world class at that. So it takes a lot of effort, time, focus, study to be able to do that. But strengths are the things that make you feel confident, things that emerge naturally from your personality. And you can do and develop your skills and mastery more easily in areas that are based on your personality and develop them into strengths. The things that you are passionate, the things that interest you matter in terms of looking at your strengths and understanding. And that's where enjoyment comes in, energy, fun, and adventure. That's when time passes easily. Share it with others. That's when you get into a state of flow where time passes by and it's almost I'm doing work and it doesn't feel like work because it's a joy to me in what I'm doing. What I discovered in writing my book is that you tend to make money when your e-style and your business are compatible. We can make money when we do so. In fact, our odds increase by 500% when we're in a business that matches who we are. On the other hand, we lose money when we're in a business that isn't compatible with our e-style. It's a real thing. All of us have been in relationships. We know when we've been in a compatible relationship and when our relationships don't work. Things just don't come together. And when you're in that type of business, it is like setting your money on fire. So that's a real key issue in making sure that who you are matches up with your business and that you have the right business model that fits your personality. So I've had success, but I've had failures as well. There was a time I started a business that didn't fit me. I became a part owner of a funeral home in Chicago, Illinois. There were 4 partners that were going in at $7,500 a piece. One of my partners was a cousin of mine, didn't quite have the money, so I was putting his share in. So that was $15,000. 1 week before we were about to get started, 2 other partners stepped away, said they weren't ready to do it. So what happened? I decided to step up and put in $30,000 so that we could get our business moving and going forward. So I knew the first few months were going to be kind of tricky, but that was okay. I knew we would ride it out. At the end of 5 months, we were starting to break even, and that was a great thing. However, the owner of the building of the funeral home came to me and said, Joe, I know you've done this. You helped me out with this $30,000, but now I got somebody else who wants that property for $50,000 and wants to give me $50,000. Now, why did he come to me that way? Well, unfortunately, my partner thought it'd be a great idea if we did a month-to-month lease. And so said, yeah, because if things don't work out, we can walk away and no earnings. Well, was that bright? Well, it helped us, but it definitely hurt us because now the landlord is coming back to me and saying, hey, give me $50,000 or I have to give it to the other guy. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I didn't have, I had sales and marketing skills, but I didn't have the sales and marketing skills that fit this industry. And so, I understood things from a financial standpoint, but I really didn't have the core things that it needed to make that business run well. My partner did, but I didn't. So another $50,000, I had it, but I wasn't prepared to move forward. So what happened at the end of 6 months, we had to close down, walk away. And I felt burned. So, however, I got a chance to make it up later. The landlord did favor some years later, and that worked out. Nonetheless, I started a business that didn't fit me. How many of you have fallen into that situation, getting into a business that didn't quite fit you? I'm sure many of you have. In fact, I've seen my parents do the exact same thing because they thought they were successful in one type of business and assume they will always be successful in everything else. But that did not turn out to be true. So that's why it's critical to really understand your e-style. And that's what I talk about here. 9 different entrepreneurial personalities, strengths and weaknesses, leadership style. And if you're trying to figure out your business, talking about 500 different business ideas that fit along with your e-style. So that way you can be in a business that fits who you truly are, as well as understanding the path of what it takes to gain that success. So one such e-style happens to be guiding lights. These are life's natural cheerleaders. They're business coaches, sports trainers, executive recruiting firms. These are people who see the best in each other and in terms of what we're doing. All right. Their strengths include excelling at teaching, leading, and working with others toward a common life-affirming purpose. They're good communicators, naturally empathetic. They're independent, self-motivated, confident, and prudent risk takers. They have strengths, but they also have weaknesses, which include occasionally discouraged when ideas are criticized. Often are in broadcasting mode than in receiving mode. They have upbeat, energetic personality, can be seen by some as superficial, and sometimes they avoid confrontation to maintain popularity. So that was, hot principle number one. What's number two? Number two is to create a business around you. Most people try to create their business around their product or their service or whatever it is, but I say the key to success is creating a business around you. So what does that mean? You first start off with knowing who you are and what your e-style is to know what you bring to the table. And second, you got to have a profitable business model. Many of us get into business to be able to do something because we have a skill and somebody's willing to pay us for it. But that doesn't mean we've created a profitable business model that makes sure that we have a sustainable business moving forward. Along with that, we got to know who are our profitable customers. Not every customer is the right customer for us, even if they want to buy. Some of them want to buy at a very cheap price. That may not be your profitable customer. You might have to step up your game to be able to follow and be able to reach and attach to profitable customers. Or you got to create your business in a way where you can move forward and be successful. On top of that, you've got to have business systems so that everything works automatically, or at least in a systemic way, so not everything is just in your head and nobody else can follow behind you. And then, of course, you got to have a strong business team to be a part in order to do it. So the key is to understand creating a business around you is at the core of creating the right kind of success, because you can go into another business, but it doesn't fit who you are or how you do business. You ultimately will fail. So this is the key in terms of understanding, create a business around you. Hot principle number two. And then hot principle number three, build a strong business team. And that's really essential to be able to move the business forward. That was great about my parents. They always focused on building up and connecting with other people, and especially the employees and the people in the staff. We're able to build, invest in them, encourage them, develop them, challenge them so that they can support and be a part of the team. This is one such great team I had a chance to put together a number of years ago. And so we work hard, very dynamic, and moving forward. So you've got to be able to have a team that supports you. Yes, may have strengths, but my team supports me going forward. And why is that? Where you gain your success as a leader in your business is to learn how to concentrate on your strength and delegate your weaknesses. That's what's critical. We always want to say improve on our weaknesses, which is great, but that sometimes only get us 50% where we go or 100% more. But when we focus on our strengths, we can get 300% more effectiveness by improving where we're good at and focusing on that and delegating our weakness to other people where their strength happens to be your weakness. So the challenge that we exist as business owners is believing that we can do it all. And unfortunately, that isn't true. Even if you're a solopreneur working from home, you still need other people on your team to be able to move forward. Now, everybody doesn't have to be a full-time employee, but you can have people who help you out part-time, short-term, once a month. All of those things matter in keeping you focused, keep you organized so that you can concentrate on areas where you're really strong at. So here's a picture of me as a young executive in my 20s. My parents are on the left here, and in between, we're standing beside our business mentor, Mr. S.B. Fuller. And Mr. Fuller started Fuller Products in 1935, in the heart of the Depression. And in the 1960s, he built it to the largest Black-owned business in the country, with over 5,000 salespeople selling his products door to door. In fact, my parents met selling products in Brooklyn, New York, while they were trying to earn their money to go to college. And so Mr. Fuller was a mentor to all of us, and I've learned lots of different things from him and continue to apply them today. And so one of the key things I learned that I didn't learn in business school, but I learned by working or continuing to study, and which is what we all must do, continue to self-educate ourselves, is learning about delegation. and learning the 70% rule. If someone else can do your job at least 70% as well as you do it, you must delegate it. You must delegate it. And the challenge that we all face is no, I can do a better job. They won't do as good as me. And that might be true. At the moment, they may not. But if they can do 70%, you must delegate. Otherwise, you are locking yourself into roles and responsibilities that don't allow you to grow and focus on your strengths. So part of delegation is not just handing it off, but it's training that person, training your team so they can do it in your way, your style. You got to create systems that they can follow to be able to do so. But you must learn how to delegate because we can't do it all. The other key in terms of building your team is learning how to hire for personality, energy, and passion. You got to be able to find people that fits the role in terms of what you're asking for someone to be. Now, one of the challenges we had in our business that my father always liked hiring salespeople because we were a sales-focused person, which is great. And that's great for hiring a salesperson for who's going to go out and sell. But if you're going to hire a salesperson and put them in accounting, you got some problems. And we had some problems because that's how he would like to hire. You want to hire somebody that reflected himself. But that's not always the best person for that role. In an accounting role, you want somebody who's going to be more focused and detailed and going to get the job done on time. Not going to be able to tell the great, fantastic story about how the work didn't happen. But trust me, it's going to happen any day now. So this is where you got to be able to manage and figure out who's the right person for the right role for what you're doing in your business, not just somebody who's just a reflection of you. So I challenge you to hire a virtual assistant or hire a virtual marketing manager to be a part of your team to be able to move forward. This can be a family member, or you can find people very inexpensively on Fiverr. That's a website where you can go in and find people from all over the world. They're willing to work at amazing prices. Some will work at $5, some work at 10 or 25, but you can be able to figure out and match up their skill set to the dollars that you have for your budget, and you can get a lot of work done. I use Fiverr. I also use Upwork. I use Upwork to find my last marketing manager and work remotely with them. You can also go to your local college and be able to find people who are willing to work as interns and possibly warrant as get self-study, credit for working with you. Or the college might have a work scholarship program to be able to support the payment of that thing. So the key is be resourceful. You can't exist as like, I got to do everything and, that I got to do everything and I have no money to be able to bring somebody else on my team. Be resourceful. Find a way. Figure it out. It will work for you. So those are the 3 hot principles that I have to share with you today about going from break even to breakthrough. And the key is want the core, understanding your entrepreneurial personality, creating a business around you, and building a strong business team. Now, these are all the elements to build a solid foundation. And all of those pieces matter. You still got to even figuring out creating business around you. Who's your profitable customers? Do you have a profitable business model? What are the business systems that you have to move forward? So those are the key foundational pieces that you need. All right. Well, I do have a couple of special offers that I have for you to be able to engage with me and my team going forward. If you're interested, I would love for you to get a chance to take a free assessment to learn what your e-style happens to be. You want to be able to click on the link so that you can click in and find the e-style yourself and be able to move forward. And we should be able to put that into the chat box. And then for those of you who are invited to come to this event today and you're looking forward to opportunities for Be Free University, love you to click on the link. That way you can be part of the organization that I'm building for the people to be a part of that. That's going into the chat box as well. And I would love for you to get an opportunity to chat with me directly. Call and get a from break even to breakthrough strategy session. If you click on the link here, it'll give you a chance to look at the schedule and be able to join with me We have a lot of people in line, so I can only offer up this opportunity to the first 10 to 15 people who join in. So 15 people, you're able to click on the link and be able to join. We can have a free breakthrough strategy session with me. That way we can love to chat and learn more about your business and give you some direction and guidance on how to move forward. And so, as I mentioned earlier, I help business owners get unstuck and regain their momentum, help business owners gain access to capital, and I help business owners finance their million-dollar projects. So any of those things are applied to you. Go right ahead and click on the link and schedule a time to be able to chat with me with a free break-even or breakthrough strategy session. All right, well, glad to be able to share these thoughts with you and love to be able to chat with you some. And
Can you see me?
I can see you. Got a little feedback, but yes, I definitely see you.
How you
All right, do that. Go ahead and talk. I need to check on something, but keep going. I'm here.
Awesome. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you, man. I loved your presentation, and I think that you dropped some. Usually we call them nuggets, but I think you dropped some boulders, man, that we can actually take and get full meals off of. The $1 million Black business strategist, you guys. That's who Mr. Dudley Jr. is. He's the $1 million Black business strategist. And he brought receipts, you guys. He started off his presentation with literal receipts. But one of the things you know, Mr. Dudley, I'm the real estate guy. So one of the things that really caught my attention was, buying back the block and the group economics and the 97 acres of land. Tell me about some of those projects.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, those are groups that came together. I think we got a little too much extra going on. All right, that's easier. Yes, both of those groups are people who decided to come together on their own. They were just not satisfied with just seeing people coming in to gentrify the arena and then them not doing anything or just waiting for somebody else to solve the problem. So they said, we're going to pool our resources together and we're going to fix and solve the problems ourselves. And that matters. And so in terms of the families in Georgia, for Freedom Georgia, they were concerned with all the different, feeling like we were being, oppressed. That was their feeling, and feeling like we didn't have a safe place. And, realizing you can't wait for the government to solve all the problems. We have to come together and use our own economic abilities and create environments for ourselves. And that's what they chose to do. So definitely 100 applaud that. And what Chris Senegal is doing in terms of, 1,600 investors coming together. That's amazing because people can invest, but here's our challenge. We're afraid of investing. We're saying, well, I don't want to lose my money. And so, but you don't, with no risk, there's no reward. However, there are, especially in real estate, where you can protect your risk. Your downside can be protected. It's not always true in everything else you're doing, but in real estate, it can be protected. More importantly, people will feel more confident when they're investing as a group. And so that's the powerful thing behind it. So that's why it takes, leaders, like you, me, and a few other people. We have to lead the charge and then bring people along with us. They're not always going to get it up front, but we give them an easy way to participate, like you're doing here with Briefing University. They will learn in the doing. Their financial literacy will increase as they are earning. That's the powerful thing behind it. But it's going to take people like us to be able to show the way and be able to open the door so that they can come in and learn and be a part as well.
The truth is, when you're not investing, you're really losing money. And that principle stands true, man, between inflation and also the ability to losing time when it comes to compound interest. Both of those you probably lost more money than you thought you were. I know probably. I know you lost more money than you thought you were, and it can be damaging for you. But you said this, Mr. Dudley. This blessed me, and I wanted to know some more information about it. You said if you're not making $100,000, you can help. Is that what you said? I want to make sure I got that right. I wrote the note.
Yes, if you're working full time in your business and you're not yet generating $100,000 in revenue, then yes, you can get help in our Deadly Eagles program. We will teach you 5 key skills that you need to learn to be able to move forward in your business with true understanding, confidence, clarity, and belief. And that's the challenge that most of us have in getting entrepreneurship. If we aren't seeing it in our family, we don't always know where to begin. Or if we have an idea how to start, we're not sure what are the next steps for us to gain our success, to gain our breakthrough, and what it takes to do that. So, that's what my father and I care about in terms of, inspiring people, our people, to invest in themselves and to be able to build and grow businesses. So that's what we learn to be able to teach, how to be able to move forward to do that. So some of those 5 key skills include learning how to become a confident communicator so that you can share your passion and vision with conviction. Learning, how to sell, how to master one-on-one sales. Number 2. Number 3, how to recruit, customers to be a part of your business, profitable customers. That's what's key. Number 4 is learning how to train your staff to duplicate yourself. And number 5 is how to market your business to gain true results. So those are the 5 key areas you master to get $100,000 in breakthrough. Now, once you get to $100,000, there are more things you need to learn. But with the Dudley Eagles, that's the first foundation where you want to be able to move to be able to break through.
Sounds like a wonderful program, Mr. Dudley. So, guys, listen to this. If you're not making $100,000 a year in your business and you want to, which I don't know why you wouldn't if you're not, you want to make at least $100,000 a year and you already have at least a business, Mr. Dudley said he can help in the Dudley Eagles. I think that's fantastic. Now, is that group mentored personally by you, Mr. Dudley?
Indeed. Me and my team. And so that's involved for, and yes, indeed. And you don't mind if you can put the link back up for the Dudley Eagles. My father is a part of it as well. And so that's what's great, to be able to get the great insights from him, from his, decades of experience.
Oh my God, that's a power duo.
That is the powerful thing about it. Yes. So I do follow it. More importantly, it's my responsibility as a second generation entrepreneur to be able to share of the mission, share with the passion, and provide opportunities for other people, like both of my parents did.
The ability to buy $250 to $10,000 of shares that you can buy.
Well, that was a program that Chris Senegal put together, which was an amazing way to get people involved, and so be able to raise the capital, collectively, with it. So that's an amazing program, and I look to duplicate that program myself with some programs that we're looking to start here in North Carolina to be able to house homeless veterans and other people who are having some financial challenges, to give them sustainable housing in a meaningful way. And so that's going to take a group effort, which is where I'm involved in a conversation about Black group economics is so strong and so powerful. And that's one way to be able to get people to be able to invest without having a lot of risk, but able to do something good and meaningful for people in the community.
One of the things that we're doing right now, and another group that I own, is that we're in the process now of buying an entire zip code. And so we're really, really excited about that. We've been buying back the block now for a few years. And so we're going to take that extension. We're going to buy back an entire zip code. We're going to gentrify that zip code ourselves. We're not going to wait for somebody else to come in our communities and buy up the land and then make it where we can't afford to live in it. We're going to take it. We're going to turn it to what we know grandmama can still afford, but we can still make a profit, make the community better, bring in new taxes to the city. You know, actually, we're setting money aside so that grandmama can still pay her taxes. I think we have 5 different model homes that we're actually building in that particular area. It's going to be a 5-year project, man, but it's going to be an awesome, awesome, awesome sight to see. And I'm excited. An entire zip code, about 1,400 houses or parcels that we're going to be buying, Mr. Dudley. But part of that I thought about is that we're going to actually utilize veterans' homes, you know, or homeless veterans rather, as part of that project. So, sound like we have some synergies, and we may be able to even, you know, do some collaboration on that as well.
Absolutely. That's what we're here meant to do. And people need to see that people like us can work together, come together and collaborate and bring forces together. That makes, that inspires our people to be able to see that we're capable of merging our energies and doing exactly that. So yes, I'm happy to help you and to be able to encourage. That's amazing in terms of you having that vision of buying the zip code. How about that? Buying the zip code. So I'm really impressed with what you're doing and how you're going about it. And I'm happy to be able to share, my knowledge and experience to help you achieve those goals.
I really appreciate it. As you know, I honor what you have done, your family has done in our community, and I respect it so much. So anything that you share is definitely take it as wisdom nuggets that should be applied immediately. Applied immediately. So real quickly, you were talking about collaboration and group economics, and y'all know I just shoot a straight shot. So why is it that when I look at Asians, they know how to collaborate? When I look at the Jews, they practice group economics. When I look at the Polish, you know, they have a circle of influence that they actually utilize in group economics. Every culture and every group that we can think about all operate in some sort of group economics until we get to African Americans or blacks or whatever we choose to call it. You know, it switches like every 10 years we change our name. So why can't we seem to come together? And we wonder why we're losing in almost every area. Well, because we're stronger together than we are apart, but we'll never come together. What's your take on that?
Well, unfortunately, it's true that, lots of people in our race have a crabs in a barrel mentality. And so they feel uncomfortable when somebody's climbing above them, trying to get out of the barrel. So what do? They reach up to pull them back down. And so that's that we experience that. That's not true for everybody, but unfortunately, that's too common in our race. And so those are attitudes that change. They stay together. Okay. Yeah. So why does that happen? No, I mean, which is amazing. You got Asian, Vietnamese, they will come together here in the country, and they were all room in the same house, and they were all work, but pool their money together, and but they won't buy another house. They'll pool their money together to buy a business, and then all those people will work in the business and be able to do that. So we have a challenge. The truth is, yes, our sense of togetherness has created, is really always been separated from our times from slavery. There's no question about it. There's always that concept for it. And so we've never come back in together. There was always like, the house slaves versus the field slaves. That's just one construct to keep us divided. And so we stay divided even in our own minds and have continued on a tradition. Now, is that always true? No. That's why we've had Black Wall Streets in Durham, North Carolina, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in other cities where you did have Black businesses come together and be able to divide and be able to support one another in the community. But unfortunately, none of those businesses, it changed in the 60s and 70s. As doors opened up for us to move into corporate America, we left a lot of the great things in entrepreneurship, in our community. And we let others come in. The Arabs came in, It also included the Koreans came in as well. And so they said, well, hey, y'all walk in the door. You could never go into Koreatown in California, in LA, and buy property. They would never let that happen. Not because of government. It's because it's, if something changed, no. We're going to get that first. Okay. And that's true in all other different communities. So we have lacked the desire over the last 50, 60 years to pool our resources together, work together, and buy. But part of our nature. It's just not in everybody's, but it does exist. And that's what we want to tap into. And we got to be able to encourage people to do that again. But that's what I'm saying. It takes leaders like us to step up to move forward. But you're doing so in a perfect way here in Be Free University. You're taking our talent, a lot of the different instructors, to be able to come together under one banner and be able to work collectively together. So you're proving that, showing that an example. And so, we've done so in our business by having, our people, we were honestly, 90% Black in terms of that. And people were amazed that you could have that many successful Black professionals working collectively, working together, building each other up, not just tearing people down.
Yeah.
So it is possible. It is definitely possible. It's just all in our mindset and what we believe. When we are embraced with the success principles, we can adapt them and change our behavior. If we're not exposed to success principles, then we're exposed to what we see in the media. And what's in the media is just designed to distract and entertain. It's not really designed to really educate us how to be successful. We're just seeing what other people are doing, and that's all a misdirection. It's a misdirection of what it takes to gain economic freedom for ourselves in our community. And so, yes, those things do exist, but there are other things where true success and collaboration can come together. And that is why we're here today.
Misdirection. I love it. He said it's a misdirection, and what we should be putting on attention. Also, this is another statement that you said. You said in 5 months with the funeral home that you are able to finally start hitting that break-even point. So it looked like there was a break-even analysis that was done. Can you talk about how important? First of all, what is the break-even point? What is it? And then the importance of actually hitting that benchmark in a company.
Great question. Yes. Every business owner needs to know what their break-even point is, because that guides your direction of everything you do for that month. So what is break-even? Break-even is adding up all of your expenses for the month, including your personal bills, resources, salary, whatever you have. You got to include that. And all the other expenses tied together, along with, and compare that to your revenues. So if it takes you $5,000 a month to pay all your expenses, then you need $5,000 in revenue coming in to break even. And so that's a critical number to know. And even as you grow, your break even will change. But your key is you won't have positive cash flow until you're above break even. So if you are $5,000 in costs and you're doing $4,000 in revenue, you're moving forward in your business, but you're losing $1,000 a month. Now you can keep losing $1,000 a month if you got $25,000 in the bank, and so you got 24 months to be able to figure it out. But in reality, you ought to try to be getting where you could be at least $6,000 a month, so you're over break even, and you have an extra $1,000 that you can use to invest in your business. So you got to know your break even point. That's a critical piece that 80% of business owners ignore. They just said, hey, I don't have enough money, cash in the bank. Well, you're always, and they're racing hard to get more cash in the bank. But you're always going to be that if you don't know your break even, because then you got to align all your resources and focus to say, we got to get $5,000 this month. Not only you tell yourself, you tell your team. You don't hide that from them. This is our break even. We got to figure out all the ideas we got to do because we got to get $5,000 this month. That's what drives the behavior, and you got to be able to do that, instill it in yourself, instill it in your group, and be able to do that. Now, can you figure it out? You can figure out what your break-even is. If you have a challenge, then you get your financial person or an accountant come in, calculate it for you, so at least you know your number. Because you know that number, that gives you knowledge, that gives you power. Because now is your chance to say, okay, I got to get $5,000 this month. What's the average price of the product I sell? Is $100. What does that mean? I got to find 50 customers. I got to find 50 customers this month. So it drives your whole behavior, your focus when you know that number.
That's awesome, and I think that you hit it right right on the head when you start talking about how can you meet sales projections, or actually even begin to even make sales projections, or even set monthly sales projected goals when you don't know what it takes to actually break even. And so when you don't have those analytics or that data in front of you, you're just really just shooting in the dark, and you can't run it. I mean, I teach and preach. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So how do you manage a company when you have no measurements, you have no metrics? And your break-even analysis is definitely one of the key positions in that. So Mr. Dudley, I'm going to let you do this. I'm going to let you give the last words as we begin to go and kind of get back into our next sessions. We look like we're about 30 minutes behind. Is that right, Bob Rashida? About 20 minutes? We got 3 minutes? Okay. All right, so Mr. Dudley, we got 3 minutes. You think we can get 2 more questions in 3 minutes?
Hey, knock it out.
All right, so this is one of the things you said. You talked about your top 3. Number 1, it was about knowing your personality, knowing who you are. Number 2, building the business around you, and number 3, actually talking about your sales team. Those were the 3 points that you focus on as you begin to teach. You want to give I guess you don't need to elaborate on it because you actually really worked at those points very well and those principles very well when you did that. Now, inside of the Dudley Eagles, will you guys be helping them understand all 3 of these things about themselves and their business?
Exactly. And even more. Yes. So the other piece is learning how to master one-on-one sales. The other piece is in terms of, how to market your business. Another part is how to become a competent communicator. We have great speakers that come each week. People are able to hear, but we also give Eagles a chance to learn how to speak as well. We have what we call our Speakers Bureau competition. And so that can come learn to speak for 8 to 10 minutes. And we have 3 of them to speak, and we give prizes. I mean, you earn $100. You come in first place, $50 for second place, third place, $25. The key is you put yourself out there and putting experience, and you get a chance to practice. That's the key. You will draw people into you if you can express your mission and your vision in a way that's compelling to people. That's how you bring people to be a part and support you and help open doors for you. And you've got to be able to express yourself to do that. So yes, we share that in the Dudley Eagles program with all additional skills to be able to move forward.
Awesome. Okay, that's one question. Let me see if I can flip through my notes real quickly and get another one in. So you talked about the E-style and business being compatible. And if they're not, you said when that happens, you make money. And when they're not compatible, well, you lose money. Break it down. Well, not break it down, but give me another point of principle about that.
Well, I mean, you are setting your money on fire, actually, because many times we just jump into a business because my friend is making money. Oh, I'm making money doing this. Come do it with me. And then you get in there, and after 3 months, you realize you don't have the same drive or desire to overcome the obstacles that come in the way in that particular thing, because you're not doing something that you truly enjoy. You got in to try to make money, and then you find out, oh, it takes this, it takes this, oh, it takes this. And then, you're not in a place of alignment and in flow. And so when it gets hard, you just kind of suffer through it. And then you don't get to a place where you're breaking even and you're just drowning. And after about 6 months or 12 months, you're just sort of done because honestly, you had already checked out of it. That's the challenge you have when you're in the business that doesn't fit who you are. Now, sometimes we all struggle. What's the right business for me? That's the key thing. If you're in the right business, then you're willing to face the challenges because you want to learn. You're hungry. Whatever you're learning, it excites you. Even if you haven't figured it out, you keep doing it because I want to master it. I want to learn it. I want to do it. And it's not just because you're trying to make money. It's because it gives you a spirit of joy and accomplishment by being in that path and being in that field.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Dudley, that's our time for right now, man. Thank you so much, guys. Give it up in the chat for Joe Dudley Jr. You guys came and just dropped nuggets, and also said that you can actually come apart and be a part of the Dudley Eagles. He's gonna help you get to that $100,000 mark. Now, here, guys, I want like y'all gotta. Sometimes, man, we don't know when to shout. Just being honest with you. You have somebody who is the name is it transcends generations in our community as far as business, and he's on here telling you not only do they have mentoring projects, mentoring opportunities, but then he comes back and he says, if you're not making at least $100,000. Now, I want you guys in the chat right now, and I want you guys to be honest. How many of you guys are business owners and you're not making $100,000? Push the number one. You're a business owner and you're not making $100,000. Push the number one in the chat for me right quick. I want to see how many people have the desire. Now, see, I want to tell you this to you guys. You can never get help when you're not willing to. I see here. Well, you'll never get help, guys, if we won't admit it. Like, I don't know, I ain't gonna tell them I don't want $100,000. That's like somebody saying, hey, listen, we're gonna have altar call and I'm gonna call people down for prayer, but you won't tell me what to pray for. Or I'm gonna go to the doctor, but I'm not gonna tell you where it hurts. If you guys are in the chat, I can't see the chat right quick, but say it. Anybody in the chat say anything? You got some ones in there?
You're getting lots of ones. You're getting lots of ones.
All right. Good. I'm glad we're getting it. So, guys, $100,000 for some of us, you guys, is it's a really strong start. It's a really strong start. Some of us can actually be free at $100,000. So, guys, I want each of you, while we're all students of Be Free University, guys, I think it's a whole nother level when you start talking about mentorship. And so, guys, this is all about joining forces. Again, Joe Dudley Jr. and I, we're sitting here talking about collaboration and join each other in different projects. Why not be a member of Dudley Eagles and also Be Free University? Doesn't it just make sense? Why not come over here and learn how to invest and then go over there and help the $1 Million Black strategists teach you, what you can also invest in? Like this is how we can collaborate as a community and come together. And now we become the next Black Wall Street, but we do it digitally. So he can be in North Carolina and I can be in Indiana and we can still collab. This is what we're talking about and the strength that we must do. And I think we're starting something new in our community. So Mr. Dudley, thank you so much. Take us out with the last words.
Well, the last word, I want to let you know, my father's actually been listening to us today and watching the presentation, and he definitely appreciates your kind words. All the work has been great. My father struggled from a very young age, but he's had determination. And he found my mother, and they both had commitment and perseverance to put to their name. They went through lots of ups and downs and struggles with the business. The business model changed 3, 4, 5 times, but they still stuck it out and figure out a way to win. And that's what it takes to be in entrepreneurship, to be resourceful and in gaining. And I was fortunate that they were open-hearted enough to bring me and my sisters into the business and get a chance to learn. So it's just my responsibility as a second generation entrepreneur to share what I've been benefited from to all of you. So I'm happy for you to be here today. Carry on. Want you to learn everything you need to learn and want to learn at Be Free University. And come on and get a chance to come to our Dudley Eagles meeting as well. We have them free every Sundays, and we would love to be able to engage you more because we're focused on your success. And when you succeed, we succeed.
So, Mr. Dudley Jr., can you also tell me how they can reach you on social media?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook under $1 Million Black Strategist. And you can also connect with me on LinkedIn as well under Joe Dudley Jr.
$1 Million Black Strategist, and also on LinkedIn, Joe Dudley Jr. You guys, that's it. We're going to actually go straight into our breakout sessions, you guys. If our educators can go and take, let me say this, you guys, real quickly before y'all leave. All right. This is not to be rude, but this is the only way we can get order. Do not push the blue button that says ask to be a speaker or what is it? Turn on audio, share audio and video unless that's your room. We have people who are opening, you're literally opening up a classroom and then walking away from it, and people are going into that classroom believing that somebody should be teaching in there, and you're holding the room hostage because you're not responding. If it happens again, I've directed my team to put you out of the conference. So please do not, unless you're on stage or you've been invited on stage by one of our instructors or you're supposed to be on stage, please do not push that button. Please. All right. That being said, you guys, let's go learn how to make some money. Educators, go get your spots in your classrooms. And guys, we'll see you in that land of more than enough. We'll be right back here, guys, with Bishop R.C. Blakes at the end of our fourth session. I can't wait, guys, to see you. You got some announcements? We good? You don't want to come on? Yeah, okay. We gone, y'all. Rashida don't want to talk to y'all. All right. So what? I thought you said you want to talk to him. If y'all don't know me by now, I play too much. I'll see y'all later. Y'all see y'all. Y'all go to class.